Hello, welcome to GreenBiz Studio. I'm Heather Clancy and I am joined by Javette Hines. She is the head of Supply Chain Development, Sustainability and Inclusion for Citi. Not quite the right order of the title, but I was struck by that word inclusion. I have to ask, that's the first question. What does that mean? Like, why is this part of your mission?
Actually, Heather, it's because for us, we've really talked about supplier diversity for a very long time. It's been a program at Citi since 1977. But the key thing for us is to make sure that as we globalize, that we have a more inclusive title and role. And so we changed the name to inclusion just last year because we began to expand to different countries. Canada was one. London or the UK was the other. We'd already started to do business in Australia. And we wanted to make sure that as we took a look at diversity, we were looking at the communities in which we were doing business. In the US, we have very specific names when you look at ethnic minorities and women, but in Canada, we're focused on Aboriginal minorities. In the UK, we're looking at Afro-Brazilian or different populations in terms of name and nomenclature. So for us, it made sense to say inclusion, not diversity. That makes us inclusive of all diverse aspects.
What is it that your supply chain needs to know about it, right? Because that was one of the things you were talking about with me a moment ago is the education. Why smaller suppliers need to understand this as well, not just you.
I think that's one of the joys and the beauties of being in a dual role at Citi, managing both supplier diversity and sustainability. One, from a category management perspective, I get the joy of working with our category managers every day, taking a look at how we source suppliers, you know, what are the considerations we need to make each day, whether it's cost savings or even if we're rationalizing the supplier base, how does that impact the number of diverse suppliers we're doing business with? But then when it comes to sustainability, we have a 5-year strategy at Citi where we're very focused on the supply chain in very specific categories and commodities. But we also have various policies regarding supplier code of conduct. So for me, I want to make sure that it's not about suppliers understanding those 64, those 82 pages that they see on the web, but just finite and clear. What is sustainability? What does it mean to you? For us at Citi, it means the environment, it means human rights and labor law considerations, but it also means diversity. So for me, utilizing the membership organizations that we currently do business with, I find it necessary to build capacity. And that for us means trying to take the opportunity to teach about sustainability, not solely for suppliers who do business with Citi, but those who do business generally with other corporations. And that way they're prepared, whether it's an RFP, RFQ, RFI that they're responding to, they understand sustainability at a high level and they're prepared.
Do you feel like that community generally does understand sustainability, or is this an education process?
This is actually an education process. I think, unfortunately, a number of diverse suppliers feel that they don't necessarily have the need to think about sustainability. And I think one of the myths, of course, is that sustainability is only about being green or about the environment. And the fact is, it is not. It is all the things I mentioned before. For us, it's the environment. It's human rights. It is about diversity. So it's very important where we have the opportunity that utilizing our intellectual capital internally, externally working with other corporate partners, that we are sponsoring different kind of symposiums that are free of charge. Because, you know, suppliers may not be able to afford to come to some of the larger conferences focused on sustainability. But as corporations, where we have the information, where we have the access, it's up to me to provide that. And that's one of the reasons why over the past year, even looking at the SDGs, you know, once they came about the past couple of years ago and, you know, in terms of being codified, it was important for us to make sure that diverse suppliers understood at a high level, these are the SDGs. Yeah, you hear these things on the news, but now I want to bring it home to you so that you understand even the United Nations is not this foreign concept. It's yours. It belongs to you. Here are how these 17 goals are applicable to you. Here is how it relates to Citi as it relates to our sustainability initiative, the supplier code of conduct, the human rights statement that we have, the statement of supplier principles. And so what we try to do in our supplier diversity and sustainability capacity is utilizing our network, utilizing our partnerships to bring aboard the right people. One of the things we do or have done for the past 3 years is to work with one of the local councils on a sustainability symposium. So this past year, we utilized Ursula Windhoven with the United Nations to come and do the keynote speech.
Wow.
And she talked about the SDGs, and we had a very good turnout. We used EcoVadis to come and talk about reporting because, again, while all diverse suppliers, some may be doing this, but most are not privy to this information.
Great.
So for us, Citi, having a combined role allows me to be able to share the information and kind of like, spread the wealth, so to speak, of knowledge.
Right. Well, thank you for spreading the wealth.
Sure.
And thank you for joining us in GreenBiz Studio.